Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Eric Moss Speaks Out. This is another episode of my podcast, but this one will be only to a Captain America spoiler review, and it's not just me this time. I got guests here with me. One you always see usually on these podcast shows, and that is CaptBEB.
Hello.
And then we got two newcomers here. This guy's been in a few of my videos. He's never been in a podcast. And he and my brother, Ryan.
Hi there.
And then we have a newcomer who's never even been in my video. I've only known her for less than a year. And that is Jordan.
Hello.
Okay.
Isn't it great that you said you've known her for less than a year, however?
Yeah, I only known her since August last. Oh no, I think she said hi to me last year during the production.
Oh, she said hi to you.
I did.
I'm like, who is this person? I don't know who she is.
I know this person who said hi to me. Now I know their family members, where they live, and we've had about 3 sleepovers now. It's been like a month.
Okay. Back on the main topic, Captain America Civil War review. This is spoiler, so if you've not seen it yet, get off here. I've seen it twice. CaptBEB's seen it twice. Ryan's seen it twice. Jordan's only seen it once. So we have a more knowledge of stuff and happen in the film, because we've seen it twice. We know how it all works out. So my first point I'm going to be talking about is Crossbones' death. I was not really a fan of this because I always thought Crossbones could have been a nice villain to put, not as a primary antagonist, but like someone in a side character. But he's wasting his film. He's only in it for like 2 minutes. And his action scene with Captain America isn't that great. It's not really memorable. It's not something I'm going to memorize. Be like, oh yeah, that's the action scene that revolutionized the world. It was very weak. Crossbones, I was disappointed. What are your guys' thoughts?
Am I going first?
Whoever wants to go.
Okay, first off, I just want to say you're really sounding like a robot at some points. Second, okay, so now back to the issue. Crossbones. Now, he's not like an A-list villain or anything, but, he's not some one that you just better. So I think it was really stupid of them just to kill him off within 10 minutes. You didn't have to have him you didn't have to have him. You could have kept him with 10 minutes, but just not kill him, and then you could have used him at some other point down the line.
CaptBEB, any thoughts?
I want to just say, doubling on to what you said, his actions weren't very memorable. I actually can't remember completely as to why exactly
I hated his voice in this. I hated his voice. It sounded like it was, I don't know what he was doing with his voice. I don't get it.
So you're discriminating against voices now?
Okay.
Okay.
I see how it is. Okay. Now, does Jordan have anything to say about this?
I thought he was good. I thought that he was purposeful for the scene, because Captain America and the Falcon and Black Widow, they wouldn't just be going after anyone. They needed a purposeful villain to go after, and I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, the thing that really bothered me about that scene was that at the end of Age of Ultron, Vision and War Machine were a part of the Avengers. Where were they in that scene?
Well, the Hulk's a part of the Avengers and Thor is, but they were in that scene.
Thor's in Asgard.
Did you not see them leave? They left at the end. At the end of Ultron, they were gone.
I know.
At the very end, the team was Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and War Machine. Where were the other two? I mean, jeez, they could have knocked down Crossbones in a shot.
Iron Man wasn't there either.
Iron Man retired at the end of Age of Ultron. Same with Hawkeye.
And they both coincidentally came out of retirement.
I've rewatched that movie 2 times recently.
You did not explain this to me.
Just keep moving forward, or else we're going to be stuck here forever.
Another thing that really happened in the film comic was Vision, Scarlet Witch. They started building a relationship. I actually really enjoyed that.
That was so cute.
Okay, I was continuing. Vision and Scarlet Witch, nice relationship. They don't really devote a lot of time to it, but when they did, I actually really enjoyed it because it gave some Vision, some humane side to him that we wouldn't expect. Ryan knows this relationship from the comics. Would you
Yes.
explain it to the non-comic book readers?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really know how else I can really explain it. Basically, it is what it is. They fall in love. Why she'd want to fall in love with an android, I don't quite understand. But I mean, that's her thing. And they eventually get married. Blah blah blah. And I can't remember who. I know it's some book like they ended up like divorcing, but I can't remember exactly why or when it happened. But I know that they did end up divorcing. But yeah, and I really enjoyed how he mentioned getting a pizza because that was hilarious.
Yeah, they had some really good humor in that.
The thing that I liked about they didn't really set up a lot to Infinity War. Like you had the references like, oh, I want to find out what this Infinity Stone really is. That was really the only thing we had to Infinity War. Like Age of Ultron had a lot of setup in it, which another thing I really did not like about this movie is it's like, oh, setup here and there. The Thor bathroom scene or whatever, the Thor cave scene. I don't even get why that scene was in the movie.
Did you call it a bathroom scene?
Yeah, I first thought it was a bathroom.
Wait, bathroom scene.
He was taking
Yeah,
like a
like,
bath. He was taking like a bath. You see me? He's like, ah.
It was water, not a bathroom.
Okay, CaptBEB, do you have any opinions on Vision, Scarlet Witch, friendship, relationship?
I want to see how, because I haven't read the comic books, so I want to see how far, according to Ryan's explanation of what or how far the relationship goes and how it ends. I want to see if they pursue that full comic book thing and just follow it to what the comic book says it is.
Okay, now are we done with this topic?
I believe so. You can.
I think it's. I want to see how it turns out because, like, it's like the first relationship where it's like two of the characters that are on the same side, like besides like Black Widow and the Hulk. Like with Pepper and Iron Man, it didn't really work out because only one of them was on the team. But since they're both on the team, I think it'll work out better because they both understand what the team is and what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing we're talking about is a certain character I absolutely really love in this film. I actually might list him as my favorite, and that is Black Panther. When I saw him again on Sunday, I saw an advanced screening of it a week before it came out. But when I saw him again on Sunday, I didn't really care for Chadwick Boseman's accent at first, but when I saw it again, I really dug him. He has some fantastic action sequences. They do his character justice. Chadwick Boseman kills it as him. I can't wait to see a solo film. He might be one of my favorite characters in the MCU as far right now. Thoughts?
Okay, so yeah, in terms of getting the character itself done, they did that. But my only complaint is that as in Black Panther would not be on Iron Man's side because like if you really thought about like him and Captain America both had like the same character. Like people and whatnot. So, but I mean, I understand they put him on Iron Man's side because Bucky being on Captain America's side. But I mean, if you want to think about it from a comics perspective, it made no sense. But other than that, perfectly fine. Good introduction for Black Panther.
Does anybody
At
else?
the end, I'd say I know how a majority of the time they displayed him as being on Iron Man's side, but of course, nearing the ending of the film, I felt that he was more of a very neutral person. And Civil War being the only comics I've read, I haven't really read any of the Black Panther comics as they are, but I've just read the building up to Civil War and all that. So I like how in the end they kept his neutral factor.
Yeah, I think he in the beginning he was kind of taking away from. To me, he was kind of taking away from Captain America's battle with Iron Man because he had his own vendetta just to kill Bucky. And I mean, like, at first Iron Man didn't want to kill Bucky, but then when he wanted to kill Bucky, then it was different. But I felt like he was taking away from Iron Man. That's why I didn't really like him at first. But by the end, like, he was pretty cool.
He was cool already. But anyways,
No, he wasn't.
next character I'm gonna be talking about. Two of these people really enjoyed him. I really enjoyed him. As I said, two of the people think he's the best character in MCU probably right now. I am not really certain about that, but that is Spider-Man. As I said before, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I said this Spider-Man combines the best parts of Tobey Maguire and the best parts of Andrew Garfield to make the best Spider-Man on screen. It combines the wit and comedy of Andrew Garfield provided, but then it also provides the awkwardness and nerdiness of Tobey Maguire. Because Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, he couldn't really get the comedy aspect of Spider-Man right, while for Andrew Garfield, he couldn't really get the nerdiness out of him. But then they took those two parts. Tom Holland kills it. I can't wait to see the next movie.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it except they nailed it perfectly. I mean, everything about it was perfect. Suit, it looked just like something that would have came out of the comic books. Even had the original logo. Small spider on the front, big fat spider on the back. He had web shooters, his comic books, and I mean, his character was as it should be, you know, being like nerdy but funny at the same time. And the only thing I'm interested to see is like in Spider-Man, in like the Spider-Man Homecoming, is like how much interaction there's going to be between him and Iron Man, because it seems like they're trying to have Iron Man kind of be like a mentor for him, and I'm just wondering how much of an influence, or if it's just going to be like Iron Man will just be there briefly and then we just focus entirely on Spider-Man.
Who's next?
I agree with what he said. I don't really have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna really say much about Spider-Man, but I've always liked until this Spider-Man came out, I've always liked the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the first one, right? Or the first three movies one.
Well, Neil Patrick Harris
first.
voiced in a TV show once.
Well, we're talking about live action here.
No, but yeah, I'm talking about the live action first three movies. I was always a fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, not much the Andrew Garfield one.
You said you
But
haven't seen
that's
the Amazing
probably just
Spider-Mans.
No, I've seen like the first one
Oh.
and a little bit of the second since it was on. Anyways, after the Tom Holland Spider-Man came out, that's probably going to be my favorite Spider-Man, but I can't really judge that until the movie comes out, Homecoming.
Yes, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, in a shocking bit of news, Godzilla 2 just got pushed back to 2019. But anyways, back to Civil War. My next piece of topic I'm going to be talking about is the airport scene. The airport scene, when I saw that first time advanced screening, it was electric. I was electric. I know Braxton was electric. We both loved that scene. It combined all the abilities, powers of all the heroes to make one. The thing I loved about the Civil War, if you guys know me, Age of Ultron shoved a lot of humor in. But then in this film, the humor came off. Oh, yeah, I can definitely see that character cracking a joke now. With Ant-Man in this scene, in the airport scene, he made the comedy work. And the comedy in this film came off as, oh, yeah, because the very first hour of this film is, like, stark serious. But the last hour and a half, it goes into that, it adds levity to it, which I love. Anyway, airport scene, brilliantly choreographed. War Machine kind of was the punching bag, and then I'll get on some other stuff later in the scene. But overall, really nice. Probably, I actually say my favorite action scene in a superhero film to date. Your take on this?
I'd say it's probably the best action scene in a movie in general. I mean, because like it's just like in some like Batman v Superman, like they didn't really fight. They had like a 5-minute fight. In this, they're actually fighting, and it's like a good 15 minutes of them fighting. And so like it's nice to actually see like they're actually fighting for once. And yeah, like it just showcased the best of everyone essentially. And yeah, it's just an all-round good experience to have in a movie.
Yeah, after watching it twice, the airport scene, that was probably in a live-action movie, as Spider-Man mentioned as Falcon mentioned, while he was fighting Spider-Man, or was webbed to I can't remember what that's called, a fencing-like thing.
Yeah.
No, a fencing-like thing.
Rail?
Rail, yeah. He was webbed to a rail. There, in a live-action movie, there isn't really supposed to be that much talking. But with the characters that Ant-Man and Spider-Man are, they were able to make it work. And I feel like it was perfectly executed the way it was.
Yeah, I think it was a good preview into the future, like Avengers films. Yeah, to see like how they would fight together or like just separately. It was a nice mix of like cutting to all the different superheroes fighting. And yeah, I agree. The humor was really good. It was like a nice break from all the fighting, like especially Spider-Man scene, like when it was just him, Falcon, and Hawkeye, I think, and it was really good.
I really enjoyed Hawkeye in the film. Even though he was hardly in it, I thought he was really nice. I felt like Avengers, I don't think he was really that good in. I just didn't really care for the character. But Age of Ultron, he really shined in that film. And he continues off the success from Age of Ultron with correcting the jokes and just being just a likable character, unlike what he was in the first Avengers film.
Yeah, that's because in the first Avengers,
possessed by Loki.
Well, that you get like in the comics, like wisecracker and stuff like that, and like kind of like calm things down. But in first Avengers, you didn't get to see any of that. That's why most people thought he was useless. But then you get to see him Age of Ultron in this, and you realize that he isn't useless.
Next thing we're talking about, Giant Man. I already knew that this was gonna happen due to all the toys they were making of him. They were making they made a big pop vinyl figure for him, 6 inches, and then they made a Lego set of the airport scene with Giant Man in it. I'm like, this gotta happen, and it did. So great. Orange slices. You get that reference, you earn my respect.
Oh yeah, speaking of orange slices, we were planning on filming this review, this spoiler review, and I would have had an orange with me, eating the orange during the review, as sort of a little reference to the ending of that airport scene.
Yeah, not all dreams come true.
Nope.
Hey, okay, I guess we're moving on to the next topic. In a climax fight, I actually thought that was really nice. If you recognize the Civil War thing they did there, based on the comic, with them like Captain America going to Shield and like Iron Man.
When Iron Man was blasted at Captain America's shield and he was blocking it, like that's like literally like one of the covers of one of the comics.
Winter Soldier got his arm blown off. I'm like, okay, that's how it's gonna be.
That was pretty cool. I liked how that happened.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was gonna happen once he started touching his arc reactor.
But I liked just how like tight it was. If you don't know what I mean, how like it wasn't like overblown, like it wasn't like just explosion. It was very tight, and it gave that like claustrophobic feel to it, which I really enjoyed. And with the very ending with him like shoving the shield down his arc reactor, and like Captain America Iron Man's being like, "Oh, you don't, what, you don't deserve that shield. My father made that." I actually really love that line, even though it kind of feels kind of like cheesy of sorts. But I really loved that climax fight because it showed how like tight and small scale the MCU can be. Like the Netflix shows. And if you have not seen the Netflix shows, watch them. Jessica Jones is not as good as Daredevil, but Daredevil is awesome. Any thoughts on the climax fight?
Okay, I have three major points I want to say. Okay, so first off, I just want to say that I thought it was like a really good fight. Like it had an emotional factor to it, because like, like just like the fact of like, like you had Captain America like trying to like doing everything to protect his best friend and stuff, and trying to prove Tony that what he was doing was wrong and stuff like that. And had Bucky trying to protect Captain America. It's very emotional. Like I could, like when we first saw it the first time, like I could feel like I was just like rooting so hard for Captain America not to die or anything. So that was my first point. Like it really got no factor it.
Oh, hold on, wait.
And then,
did you... Okay, continue.
But my second point is, I was gonna say, I really liked. Okay, so in the first Avengers, Captain America's first film, at the movie scene when the boys start beating him outside, he had him say the line of "I can do this all day," and he had him say it again in this movie. So I thought that was just like a very like nice nod. I mean, like when he said that in the trailer, I figured that was gonna be like symbolic of him dying, but I mean that didn't happen. But I just thought it was nice to like throw in like a little reference to his past films and just like his overall attitude of like he's just never gonna stop. And then my third point is just that I really, really, really love that 5-second fight where Winter Soldier and Captain America were just tag teaming Iron Man so hard, and they were just absolutely kicking his butt, because that was just beautiful. And it looks like Iron Man was completely screwed at that point.
Okay, so I heard you say that you were rooting for Captain America not to die.
Yes.
But
we all know he died in the storyline.
Yeah, but I remember us discussing that we felt someone should have died.
Yeah, I know. I wanted America to die, but it's that like emotionally, like I didn't want it. That like.
Oh, like during the actual scene, you didn't want him to die, but
yeah, during the actual scene, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, don't die.
This is actually the perfect time to kill someone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You gonna say anything?
I don't know. It built like frustration, which I think is exactly what the director wanted us to feel, or like the writers wanted us to feel, because like the whole film, Baron or Zemo was just building up frustration.
Zemo, I'm gonna get on his character soon.
He was just building up the frustration, and all the Avengers just like, and I think like Iron Man was like willing to like talk it out with Captain America, but then like when he found out that it was Bucky that killed his parents, he's like, that was his breaking point, and then like that's when they all started fighting. And when the three of them were fighting, that's when I was like frustrated the most, because like
Captain
you
America
don't want
should've
any of
died.
them to die, but at the same time you know that like one of them has to win. So that was like,
Captain America should have died. Just gonna say
I
that.
think Iron Man should have won. And I don't think Captain America should have been fighting in the first place. I think that was Bucky and Captain America's fight. Like, I understand why he was, but I think that wasn't Captain America's fight. I think that was between Bucky and Iron Man.
in the comics, Captain America died in the story because he didn't necessarily Iron Man didn't necessarily beat him, but Captain America did get arrested.
Yeah,
And
he
when he was being
surrendered.
sent, yeah, he surrendered because he's just like, I'm not gonna do this fighting anymore. He's like, this is pointless. And then as he was being like taken, like I can't remember, like just like to jail or whatever, Crossbones was on a building, which is why which is why when I heard Crossbones was in here, I thought, oh, he's gonna die because Crossbones, he didn't kill him, but like he got some shots in on him, and then good old Sharon Carter is the one who got the death shot in on him because she was brainwashed by the Red Skull. So I figured they're just gonna have her be brainwashed by Zemo in here, and that's how that all was gonna tie together. But none of that happened.
I think he needs to finish out the Avengers first before
He's probably gonna die in Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity War.
It's the same. It's still the same. It deals with the Infinity Gauntlet, so it's still the same thing.
Okay. Next topic. I'm going to be talking about Baron Zemo in the film. He's not really Baron Zemo in the film. He's Helmut Zemo, which is before Baron Zemo, of course. I honestly hated him when I first saw the film. I'm like, I just don't like you. I just don't get your purpose here. But when I saw the film again, I'm like, I actually really dug him. I loved Daniel Bruhl as him, and then you had his development was actually quite well. His motive was well. His second time around, I really enjoyed him, and the good thing is that they kept him alive, which leaves him up for future films, which hopefully can actually don the Baron Zemo stuff. And they hinted at that briefly when Tony Stark was going to the raft. They said he was a part of the Sokovian military. So yeah, I really enjoyed Baron Zemo a second time around. I hated him at first, second time around. Your guys' thought on Baron Zemo?
Well, I mean, for it was okay. They definitely could have done more to make it better. Like I would have actually preferred, Baron Zemo, not whatever Zemo we got. It's what an actual Baron Zemo, because Baron Zemo is like Captain America's like nemesis. He's like right below Red Skull.
Baron Zemo, well, it wasn't much of Baron Zemo as like the comics put him out to be, but as he was in the film, with the entire plan to turn Captain America and Iron Man against each other, I feel like the way he executed it and the way he went about doing it was really well executed, and that is probably that's due to the credit of the writers of the script. So I like the entire intellect characteristic that they gave him and kept that with himself.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the manipulative, smart villains versus the ones that just want to smash the world or just want to take over the world with bronze over smart.
This person really loves Loki for some reason.
Yes, I freaking love Loki. Sorry if that's bad to say,
No,
but
this is PG. I don't think that class is rated R.
okay, cool. But Loki was or is one of the best villains in the whole history of ever. He fails inevitably every time, but he's still one of the best villains.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the time to argue with you on that.
Because it's not arguable. It's...
Also, going off the climax fight, I forgot to add this in. The thing I really did not like about Batman v Superman, I saw someone talk about this. I forget who exactly it was. Oh no, it was Xavier Woods. It was Xavier Woods from WWE when he was having the debate with Chris Denker, Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
He basically said the Batman v Superman fight wasn't really Batman versus Superman. It was more like Superman's inner struggle, which I absolutely totally agree with. And then with this film, it was really Iron Man versus Captain America. It was not really any inner struggle. I really enjoyed that. Even though Batman v Superman, I actually liked the idea of doing that whole inner struggle thing. I actually enjoyed this one much better.
It was a little bit inner struggle where like Captain America just couldn't decide between his past and his future, like his past being Bucky and his future being the Avengers. Like he couldn't just let Bucky go, like because he's kind of a bad person,
No,
or he does bad things.
In Batman v Superman, Batman.
Okay, go ahead.
What?
You can go. You go.
In Batman v Superman, Batman was kind of a symbol of the whole world, because and you saw. Well, you have not seen Batman v Superman yet, but Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
A lot of the world doesn't want him, and Batman was like, I don't want him. I see him as a threat. That's like the world saw him as. So Batman was kind of like a symbol for the whole entire nation, and not nation, the world. And that was like Superman's inner struggle. Like, I gotta break through, but I don't want to like show them I'm really a threat type deal. And Braxton, what were you saying?
I was saying so. Oh, what was I saying? Okay, so the way they built up to the actual conflict, which was Captain America's or Steve Rogers' friendship with Bucky and how it was all threatened with the entire fact that he was a criminal. The thing that I felt built up to that, and I'm pretty sure it was obvious, but whenever Peggy died, when they went to Peggy's funeral in London. Hello?
Yeah,
Can
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Braxton. Who cares about him?
But anyways, the entire way they built up to making that conflict as major as it was with Peggy Carter dying. I just thought that was really interesting the way they did that.
Also, going off of Baron Zemo, he was actually the real winner in all of this because he was able to split up the Avengers and crumble them. Because the only people that are part of the Avengers now is Vision, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. I'll go on the War Machine later, but Black Panther is with Captain America, and Black Widow's on the run. We don't know where she is or where she's at or anything about it. She's just like, oh, I'm. She didn't really say I'm running, but it kind of is. And then Captain America's team was in jail but got broken out at the very end. It's now going on to War Machine. I don't know if I think he's going to be done, but I would not be shocked if they try to bring him back. With the whole leg exoskeleton thing.
Well, I mean, come on. The guy, he's no offense to any War Machine lovers, but the character's useless. He's not needed at all. Have him suffer with paralysis and just stay on a hospital bed for the rest of the movies.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they need him.
Oh, okay. Braxton, got any thoughts on War Machine?
Not really, no. No, I don't.
Okay, okay. We all don't like War Machine. Okay, good. That's actually
Who
the
does
right
like him?
Okay.
No one says, "Oh my God, War Machine."
Yeah, exactly. He's useless.
War Machine is awesome. He does explosions. Anyways,
Anyone can.
at the very
They
end,
all do explosions.
the very end of the film,
Ant-Man did an explosion with the not water truck scene.
I thought that was a water truck. Anyways, anyway, going off at the very end of the film, we see Captain America is broken them all out. Tony Stark gets an untraceable phone. I'm just laughing about that. General Ross. I'll get on this later, but General Ross is annoying. I liked him in Incredible Hulk, but in this film he's straight up annoying. I hated him. Anyways, going off to the ending. Captain America broke out out of all the Avengers that were in the Raft, which is the underwater prison that held Falcon, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man. He broke them all out. But they don't know where they are. I would assume they would all be in the first post-credit scene, but they never really explain anything. But Captain America breaks them all out. And then going on to the next post-credit scene, I did not like that post-credit scene. I thought they could have just made that the ending and did something with Thanos or something at the end for the post-credit scene. I did not really enjoy that as well. And we all find out they're in Wakanda. Black Panther's helping them out. Bucky gets frozen because he feels like he's a risk, so he waits until there's a cure, which I eventually think will happen in Black Panther solo film. But we don't know where the other ones are. I didn't like the first post-credit scene.
Okay, so the first post credit scene, it was okay. Like, it's just they were just using that because they just wanted to acknowledge the fact that, like, oh yeah, we're not done with Winter Soldier. We're still going to be there. We're just because that is how it was in the comic books. They did eventually find a way to get the bad memories out of his head. So you're just gonna have to wait till that happens. And then they also just had it be in Wakanda because they want to, acknowledge that so that we know what it'll look like in the Black Panther solo film. So it wasn't necessarily good build up, but it was just build up nonetheless for the future films.
Is anyone gonna talk?
I am so sorry. I'm playing a game.
Jordan, go.
Jordan's right here.
Sorry, I'm reading too. I'm multitasking. I think I much prefer the scenes that foreshadow a different movie. Like at the end of the first Avengers, that was a really good scene. And whenever whatever movie had a end credit of X-Men Apocalypse, that was really good too.
Days of Future Past. Don't forget about that movie. One of the best comic book films of all time.
Okay, just let her continue.
Days of Future. It was good though because I liked how they gave Bucky an ending, because at the end of Civil War they just gave the Avengers or ex-Avengers the ending, and I like how they gave Bucky the ending, and then yeah. I didn't really have much thought about it. I really had to use the bathroom at the time. So
what movie do you think? This is basically to everyone, but what movie do you think Winter Soldier or Bucky will be prominent in next?
Black Panther.
Obviously Black Panther. I mean, he's literally at Wakanda.
Yeah, but he's frozen, isn't he? So.
Yeah, they're probably gonna unfreeze him at some point in the film and be like, "Okay, we got the cure for you, Bucky."
I really.
But why would they freeze him?
I mean, not just for like the cure, but as a major part of the film.
Oh, you mean like actually? Okay,
more than half.
If that's the case, then
of the film as it is.
Yeah, if that's gonna be Infinity War Part 1, because they're pretty much for the Infinity War. They're gonna. No, I mean it's Thanos. They're gonna need everyone. That's why you might even see Netflix characters like Daredevil and like Punisher or such, because they're literally going to.
That's why they should recruit the X-Men.
Well, I mean, maybe that can happen if Fox decides to. I mean, if Marvel decides to recruit Fox, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah,
X-Men films really need to suck, because.
Yeah, Fox is doing like just fine with X-Men right now.
The thing that led to the Spider-Man thing is because the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie sucked. I didn't like. I actually thought it was better than the first one the very first time.
Well, it didn't.
But when I saw it again, when I kept thinking about it, it just gets worse and worse in my mind. No one wanted more Amazing Spider-Man films. They saw the box office going down.
Well, the thing about Amazing Spider-Man 2 is like the idea was there, but it was like Batman v Superman. They just clustered too much in it because you had, Spider-Man Electro, Spider-Man Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man Sinister Six, it's just Spider-Man Harry Osborn, Green Goblin, etc. There was even supposed to be Mary Jane in there. It was just way too clustered. That was its problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'm happy it sucked though, because now we got Spider-Man back at his home and being done justice. So I'm not going to complain about it.
You were the one that actually wanted Amazing Spider-Man 3 and stuff.
Because I wanted to see what they're going to do with the Sinister Six. Because, I mean, who knows if they're going to do Sinister Six now in Marvel? That's one of the things I was looking forward to. Because the Sinister Six is one of my favorite villain teams, and I was excited to see it on the big screen. But I mean, who knows if we're going to see it now?
Oh, okay. Okay, let me get on. No one's speaking. Okay, let me go.
Just go into the next end credit scene.
Well, I talk about something. Martin Freeman's character Everett Ross, super underutilized in this film. He's gonna be in Black Panther. Can't wait to see him. Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins is the boss. Anyway, second end credit scene. Jordan did not wait to the last end credit scene because she's not a true Marvel fan.
I had to use the bathroom.
Any true Marvel fan, any true Marvel fan waits till the very end of the movie to leave. That's just an established law if you're a Marvel fan.
Well,
Anyway.
the established law can be broken if you need to free the pee.
No, these are unamendable laws. Okay.
If you needed what?
Free to pee.
The laws of nature.
Anyway,
The laws of nature.
second end credit
trump
scene.
everything.
Very comedic.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
well, I did actually.
Yeah, he was
Hold
really
on,
wanting to go
don't say
pee
the
as
rest.
well. He's like, do you think I can make it? And we're like,
Yeah, that's what he asked me. He asked me if he could make it in time, and I said no, don't risk it. So yeah, take a note from Braxton, Jordan.
anyways, going
Alright.
off. Second end credit
Not
scene.
as strong.
She finally saw today on Instagram. I had to share it to her. Anyways,
I saw
comedic
it. Don't worry.
Spider-Man, not really any build-up except he has some bat signal type watch on him that's like a Spidey signal. Hopefully that.
I
gets
think it
explained.
was the perfect build-up.
And then it's much more
That's
comedic.
good.
Doesn't really build up anything. Aunt May, I actually really like Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. They looking for that, not really young version of Aunt May, but definitely that middle-aged one, which I actually think is a right fit for this type of universe, for this Peter Parker. Really enjoy that. And I say again.
Yeah. So
You're saying?
I mean, you kind of cut me off. Might as well finish it.
Oh, I really hated the end credit scene like I did with Age of Ultron. I hated Age of Ultron end credit scene was just Thanos getting the Infinity Gauntlet. I honestly hated that, and I honestly hate these ones as well.
Well, okay, I don't hate the Spider-Man one. I mean, the other one, it was okay, but the Spider-Man one was good because it was just because. I mean, it's not everyone knew that there's because you have casual fans in there. Some of them don't, read online and know there's gonna be a Spider-Man solo film coming up. So not everyone knew that they're still going to use Spider-Man again. So that was mainly just to let people know, hey, Spider-Man's still going to be around. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was just a good thing. It's because, I mean, what else would you want from Spider-Man? You want him to freaking be fighting someone in it? It's just a thing just to acknowledge Spider-Man and say, yeah, he's sticking around. What more could you have wanted there?
Exactly. Because, at the end of the airport scene, Iron Man was like, go home. And then he's like, oh, shoot. And then you're like, where'd he go?
I'm
And then at
good.
the end, when he turns on his thing, he's like, well, Peter didn't put that there, so then it's obviously Iron Man. So he
Yeah,
knows
that's
that he's like,
because-
I'm going to call you soon.
Okay. Can I just say
That's
something about
because
Peter
in,
Parker,
in,
please? Can I just say something about Peter Parker, please? When he first showed up as Peter Parker and Tim and
Oh.
Tony Stark were having the first conversation, I hated how he said algebra. I'm hoping he's referencing algebra 2.
Oh yeah.
Yes, me and Braxton,
Yeah.
we talked about that.
Because to
Me
make
and
him
Braxton
smart,
talked
to make him
about it.
seem
We
smart, he
established
says
it
that's
had to be algebra
calculus.
too.
Maybe he...
Okay.
Maybe
Oh, but to build upon that scene, I just
It's
want to say
better
I
how-
love this. I love the song that they played to introduce him. Like when Queens popped up on the screen and I started peeing my pants.
Yeah,
I
Ryan
love
was
that
peeing his
song.
pants
He was
literally
legitimately
and
peeing his
metaphorically.
pants.
Not literally, but
See, Ryan
I
already
was-
took his bathroom break. That's why he didn't miss the end credit, because he already took his
He
bathroom.
also My other friend,
Yeah.
my other friend was peeing during the. They showed the Star Wars Rogue One trailer. And,
Oh my
the
God.
Oh,
one-
that was so good. That was really good.
he started like, oh, I could hear him. Anyways, any last words? I've gone through all my talking points. Any last words for you guys?
Well, simply put it, Civil War is the best superhero movie of all time.
And
mean, it had-
Captain America has some really nice abs. That's what I wanted to add.
Oh yeah, she's been waiting for a
Yeah,
very
she's
long
been
time
waiting
to
for
say that.
She said
Yeah.
it will build me. It will since I looked at my statistics and it says 87% of my viewers are male. She said that since she's on it and she's gonna be talking about girl things, she said it will build up female viewers. I don't know if that will happen.
Yes,
So-
we're now going to be adding a new addition to the channel called Jordan Speaks Out.
Yeah, this channel.
How
is gonna
common will
be called
that
the
be?
Speak Out channel now. We're gonna have Braxton
Hey,
speaking
we all
about video games.
You
Ryan
know
speaking
who's
about
going to be the
stuff.
You know who's going to be the #1 viewer for Jordan Talks Out, right?
Emma.
Chris
Yeah,
Evans
yeah.
because he loves me.
No. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shut
Okay.
up.
Yeah, you gotta get it, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
I do.
We get
Anyways.
it.
So
You're saying Braxton.
yeah, so after Civil War and Batman vs Superman, I remember you, Eric, you wanted to talk about this before. Like the first time you even mentioned this podcast, you wanted to talk about the set list of things. One of them was, do you think the superhero genre is?
Oh no, that's a
Gonna die
that's a
out.
different
This isn't
podcast. I have
actually-
that saved for next week.
Oh, is that next week? Okay.
Yeah, that superhero
But there's
stuff
one
is next
thing.
week.
There's only one thing that I just want to hear an answer for.
What?
Do you think that Civil War will stay as the peak of the Marvel hero films, and how long do you think it's going to stay? Depending on how well you think they're going to do Infinity War.
I think it will only remain as one of. Well, I don't call it the best MCU film. I call the first Avengers the best MCU film. I call Guardians of the Galaxy the second best. I call this one the third best. So I don't really see it as the peak. But if you want to call it the peak, I think the peak gets broken next year. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, May 5th, 2017. Looks awesome.
Can I provide an answer to your question, Braxton?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I believe. Okay, personally. Okay, there's no way Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to surpass Civil War. I mean, sure, Guardians of the Galaxy was good, but Civil War. I mean, first off, that's one of the.
I agree.
biggest-
I second that.
Yeah, Civil War.
You're the
was
one who
of
likes Chris Pratt, Jordan. So don't even say anything.
Eric, let
I
me
like
talk here.
him.
Let me talk here, Eric. Okay. First off, Civil War is arguably the biggest storyline that's ever happened in Marvel, because it was the first time you had hero versus hero, and then they put it in a film, and they actually did it correctly. They didn't screw up like in Batman v Superman. They did it correctly, except they just didn't have Captain America die. That was the only thing they didn't really do correctly. But other than that, it was pretty perfect. So yeah, that's obviously going to be the peak as far as Marvel film goes right now. But you're going to have Spider-Man Homecoming coming out next. And like I said before, that is the first time we're ever going to have a full film dedicated to Spider-Man in the MCU. And if they do that correctly, if they do that justice, that is going to pass Civil War, and that's going to be the peak. And then we're going to move on
To Justice League
Infinity
Part 1.
Wars.
Justice League Part 1.
Yeah. Justice League Part 1 is going to suck. But anyway, then we're going to move on to Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. Now, Infinity War Part 1 is probably just going to be just general build up to the fight. So that's probably not going to be that good. But Infinity War Part 2, that's probably just going to be like 90% action. So that's probably going to be the next peak for superhero films. Because that's just going to be flat out everyone doing whatever they can to win. So that's my answer to your question, Braxton. It's just going to get better from here.
Do you have an answer to this question, Jordan?
I think the biggest peak will occur when the team suffers a great loss. That's like in Civil War, they Yeah, sure. Iron Man had already lost his parents, so he's like whatever. He just wants to avenge them. But I think like obviously Captain America's
No,
supposed
no, hold on.
to die. So I think
We're talking about movie quality right now.
Yeah, like if you think like a movie's gonna be better than Civil War, or if Civil War's just gonna be the top one, like forever.
no, I don't. Oh, okay, no, I don't. I don't think Civil War is going to be the best one. I think they can top that.
Okay, good. Someone agrees with me. Well, it's already been topped.
I think they'll top it. Yeah. And yeah, what?
What are you talking about?
I
I
think
did
they'll
agree with
top
you,
it.
Eric. I said it's gonna get just better from here
No,
on.
I said it's not even the best one so far. I said Avengers is.
It is the best one right now.
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy
Avengers.
by guys. Go ahead.
Okay, Avengers is not the best Marvel film. Sure, it was the first time they had all Marvel characters together. Not all of them, but like all the big ones together in one film. But it is not the. It had a very basic story. It like the action scenes weren't exactly the best. It's just the ending wasn't even that good. It was a decent. It was a good film for what it was. But if I will take Winter Soldier or Age of Ultron or Civil War over it any day.
It was the setup though that mattered. Like, if the first Avengers never happened, then none of the other films could have happened the way they happened. So it was the perfect setup for all the other films, I think.
Yeah, it's just the launching pad.
Braxton, what
Yeah.
do you think about this? Braxton.
Oh, if I think that Civil War will be the
Yes.
peak.
Yes.
I personally think that Civil War, with how much good and great reviews it's gotten, and how it was taken in general, it's gonna be a while until they can find something that will be able to top it.
Oh, you don't think Suicide Squad can?
But they will top it. Someone will top Civil War, but I don't see it happening in the next few years.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
X-Men Apocalypse.
that movie has 49% right now, and they said it's overloaded.
That's from critics. That's from critics, okay? You even said yourself they said it's
Okay,
a movie for the
I'm gonna
fans. So
load
that
up-
means it should be a movie I love.
I'm gonna load up the consensus right now.
Okay, wait, you know what? Why don't we talk about this another time? We should probably end this video or
No,
something.
let me go. It says X-Men Apocalypse, overloaded with action in a vain effort to compensate for lack of genuine excitement. X-Men Apocalypse is a middling disappointment for the franchise.
That's booty.
Why am I going to listen to what one critic says? There's probably critics that say Civil War sucked, and Civil War is the best super movie of all time. So I don't pay attention to what some critic who, most of the time, they go and bias the superhero movies and automatically going to give them bad reviews. So I don't always trust what critics say because, I mean, if superhero movies were judged as they should be, Civil War would be winning like an Oscar or something because that's just a fantastic movie. But it's not going to win because critics are biased and they only give it to either international films or a film about disability.
Okay, you're buffering on my side. Anyways, this is how we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it right now. So leave in the comment box below what you guys thought of Captain America: Civil War. If you've seen it, you can go all out on spoilers since this will be
And what
clear.
you think about Chris Evans' abs?
Okay, I'm not leaving that. I'm not putting it in the description. This will be completely branded as spoiler review. I'm gonna put spoiler review in all caps. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm gonna try to put as much content as I do every day. Please leave a comment. As I said, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I review movies I don't review on Instagram there. I talk about movies a lot there. At Rango9876, both. Like my Facebook page. Also, that one's Eric Moss Movie Reviews. If you haven't started me, please do. Now go follow, subscribe to Captain Beb's channel. Is that CaptBEB? Is that your
It's-
channel name?
Yes, that is my channel name.
Yeah, go follow him. Subscribe to him. He's got Twitter.
You know what? I'm
Instagram.
just in case. I'm gonna put my channel link in the description of my video, just in case any lost souls don't know what they're doing on YouTube.
Ryan, I don't know if he wants to advertise his pages. I won't even advertise him. I don't know if Jordan wants.
No, I don't want your weird followers following me.
I don't know if Jordan
You
wants the
don't say
same
that.
treatment.
Yeah, I'm at Jordang. That's like 4 N's, 1 G. Follow me. Thanks.
On
I already have
Instagram.
Eric's channel on this, so
That totally rhymed.
Anyways, hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy the
before
video.
you end it, I just want to say, if you were actually able to reach the end of the video, in the comments, I would like you to write Chris's nice abs.
Thank you. It's a true statement.
Okay, guys. Hope you guys have a good day
Hmm?
and goodbye.